you doing?
This is horrible.
By the way,
Fuck. Hello. Oh my
Wait,
god.
why is it
Wait,
so focused
why
on
is
me?
it? Why is the angle so bad?
Where's the camera?
Oh, over here.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Wait. Oh yeah.
Do we want
that's
a portrait?
No. It's over here.
Okay, so here.
Hello everyone. So wait. This is on the go live podcasting. Hi, Chris Blessing. Happy New Year, by the way. So we had a whole setup, and now what? The internet isn't working on that.
Yes.
Why is it working on mine? I don't know.
know.
Same internet. So now we're doing a horrible situation here. Yeah, great low angle.
Get something. Here, let's move this.
Get something, he says. So we had our great usual live stream setup. I say from behind the camera, and then it doesn't work.
Yep.
And now we're on my iPad. But see, now it's angled weird because this is how the iPad stand works.
It's gonna
What do you-
fall.
It's gonna fall. We're using takeaway containers. I need something, Marcus.
Like what?
This tissue.
Okay.
Hold on.
I mean,
Beautiful.
that's so precarious.
I don't
It's
care.
wiggle.
We're not. Don't touch it. It's wiggling. We're. Hey, I said on Twitter, this is a cottage stream, and this is what you get when you do a cottage stream. Oh, thank you, Chris Blessing. He says no situation is horrible if it's with you two cuties.
Yay.
See, we got our matching hats. Show them your matching hat. You're off to the side. You guys sit here. Stand. Are we? So I can't. Oh, the reason I got up is because we can't see the show notes anymore. So,
Yeah.
Hold on.
You're gonna get your phone?
Yes.
Okay.
Great. We're doing wonderfully.
Stop, it's wiggling.
Just
Every
stop.
time you step, it wiggles.
Stop walking. It's wiggling. Okay. Hold on. God.
Oh, now he's waiting.
Oh, hi, Captain. Thank you for the raid. This is embarrassing. I don't need this on anymore, then do I? I don't need.
No, unless your iPod was on it.
I think iPad is on the Wi-Fi here, so I'm
Okay.
turning this off. Hopefully we don't cut off. Entertain the people while
With
I get
what?
this set up.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Okay, House J's back. He's raiding with his little raids emoji. You're doing something.
I'm getting our show notes. This is fine, right?
It's fine. I don't
This
think
is fine. Oh wait. Can can the folks that are in the chat let us know how the audio quality is? Because I'm thinking now, we had our whole setup. We've got a mic. That wouldn't work with my iPad, would it? The mic.
Do you have a USB Type-C plug in the iPad?
Yeah.
Does it do that? I don't know how
Yeah,
it works. We had
yeah,
weird
it's
stuff
right
last time.
here.
Remember you were trying to use your weird mic and it wasn't working, your poof mic?
I don't know.
Anyway,
Anyway,
it's fine.
audio is fine, Chris Blessing says. Okay, so are we going to do the real episode? Or are we going to cut
Are
it
we?
short because this is horrible?
No, this is fine.
This
The
is
horrible was when it was 30% drop frames.
Yes. So tell them what happened. Tell the people
Okay.
what happened, what we were going to do, and
Okay.
why it's not working.
Well, I don't know why it's not working, but yeah, we were going to stream using the Steam Deck,
Yeah, show off your Steam Deck. We've got,
which I have right here.
ta-da.
And I had OBS installed on it and Linux. And if you put it in desktop mode, connect the webcam and microphone, it was fine.
It was fine. You tested it
Yes.
at your place
Mhm.
in, California.
Yeah.
And then we came up here. We're in Portland right now, if you can tell. This is Portland winter vibes. We've got our hats on and we're freezing. We're in a cottage and it's very cold. We've got, only have an electric fireplace for warmth here. And they supposedly have good internet.
They do
because
have,
when you
yeah.
tested it, you tested it on your phone, didn't you?
Yes.
So you didn't test it on the Steam Deck. Was that your folly?
I mean, I guess so, but even on the on this mode, the
Oh,
signal
yeah.
strength is fine.
So what is
But when I
the-
switched to desktop mode, the signal strength of the Wi-Fi connection was 1 bar. I don't know why.
And yeah, we couldn't fix it. But that's the same thing. So it's doing on the desktop what it did on my Switch. I tried to connect my Switch to the Wi-Fi here, and it's also one bar. So maybe there's something connected. But I don't know why it would be okay when you're not in desktop mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know.
I don't know either. But Marcus got it all set up really awesomely on the Steam Deck so that we could do this portable setup. We have the webcam, we got the mic, we got our usual, if you've been to, I think everyone here has been to our live shows before, we got the nice layout, the little ticker, everything beautiful. Now it's just us. You get us in a grainy iPad, inbuilt webcam, inbuilt audio, everything. So what's going on here? We're streaming on hotel Wi-Fi for your ski or Wi-Fi in general, to be honest. Yeah, I think so. You asked the weather, with the temperature. It is currently 44 degrees Fahrenheit here. Capsule J, it might be colder where you are. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Maybe you're warmer. Tell us if it's warmer where you are. But this is certainly the coldest you've been in many a moon, isn't it?
For a sustained period of time, yeah. Yeah.
And that's why you've got the hat.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're hip now. You've got a local coffee shop. It has a logo here of the coffee shop. Yeah. And I've got, look folks, I've got an Animal Crossing hat from Target. Isn't it amazing? American Target. So cute. I love it. Freakishly warm day of 67 degrees Fahrenheit. The same time last week it was 12? What? That doesn't make sense. The global warming, huh?
I wonder how warm it was in California.
That is hot. It was like 80 degrees in California at Christmas when everybody else was freezing, of course. I hope everyone is safe and warm and didn't get caught in any of the storms or anything like that. Thank you, Capsule J. We love our hats.
Oh, it's 61 right now.
That's pretty cold for California. Yeah.
Near me.
Okay, well, should we actually do the show? Is that enough preamble?
Sure.
After our mishaps. Okay, getting our show notes together. Again, this is all ad hoc because everything's screwed up. It's fine. It's fine. So as always, we're going to start recording. I mean, we're already going, but none of this is going to get into the podcast feed, so you're getting all of the true show, behind-the-scenes show here. I'm trying to fix my phone. It's not going to happen. Kirby's not helping me.
It's fine.
Wait, I'll show the people Kirby. Hold on.
Okay.
This is my lovely pop socket thing Marcus got me. So, I've got the phone with our show notes.
There.
Beautiful. Why won't my keyboard go away, though?
I don't know. How does Apple work? I don't know
there,
how to...
Okay, there, I did it. So, anyway, once we get behind the scenes, this is a real, true episode here. So, if you've been here before, you know the drill for the live show. I'm going to basically do the intro, and that's where the podcast will start. And we'll, of course, continue to interact with the chat. We'd love to hear your, favorite games or movies or whatever media you've enjoyed over the year, because, of course, it is now January 1st, 2023. So we are in the first day of the new year. Happy New Year, everyone. And, yeah. Anyway, I'll be saying that again in like 2 seconds when I do the intro. So, shall we get to it?
Yeah.
Hold on. Not yet. Need a sip of my orange mocha from downtown, and now I'm ready.
Yep.
Okay, so we shall get started. Hello everyone, you're listening to Pixel, where the X is silent, but our love for games most definitely isn't. This is episode 103. Happy New Year. First episode of 2023. Hey, that's pretty good. 103, 2023.
Yeah.
We timed that really well. It was all on purpose. All part of the plan. I'm one of your hosts, Anne, and with me as always is your other host, Marcus. Hello, Marcus. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. And hello to everyone here live with us on New Year's. It's great to see you. And hello, of course, to everyone listening to this after the fact, whether you're catching us in the recording on YouTube or listening to the podcast. We appreciate you and hope you have had a wonderful holiday season, a lovely New Year's Eve if you do that kind of thing, and we'll have a lovely 2023. Fingers crossed for everyone. Can only get better, right? Knock on wood. I shouldn't say that, or I'm gonna jinx it. Anyway, wow. What have we been up to? So I've been, as we said in the intro, we are recording here from Portland area. Marcus and I are up in Portland visiting my family for the New Year's. And I've been in the U.S. for a while now. When did I arrive? December 7th, I arrived in California, in LA. And I've been spending time hanging out with Marcus. We did the whole Christmas thing, had my birthday in December, and having a lot of fun hanging out. We have a lot of movies and games to talk about that we've been watching and playing over the past 3 weeks or so. And yeah, what else have we been up to, Marcus?
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be worth mentioning why you came over to begin with, which was I actually had major surgery in December. So we had kind of planned that I would do that, and that you would come over and kind of help me out, help me get around.
Yeah, I'm helping the invalid here that can't do anything for himself, including putting his shoes on. It's been a lot of fun.
I'm getting better.
You are, very quickly, in fact. But fun fact, his surgery was on my birthday, so I spent my birthday in the hospital looking after this guy.
Thank you.
That's true friendship. Yep, so you're doing better. You look good. Yeah. You look healthy.
Thank you.
Don't worry, anyone who's worried, it was not like a life-threatening situation or anything like that. Yeah. It was totally a standard procedure, no big deal. But you technically have to recover for like 6 weeks, isn't it? So no heavy lifting. This man loves lifting, working out. So none of that.
No.
Sadly.
But yeah, so that's what's been going on somewhat.
Yeah.
Aside from that, though, I mean, there's something else that's been going on which is really actually quite awesome.
Yes, very awesome. And I teased it in some of the promotional stuff for the podcast. We have a big announcement, and that is that we are going out. So Marcus and I are dating now. I don't know if I've ever heard of a podcast team that had been friends for many years and then started dating. But that's exciting for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're so embarrassed. Oh my God. But 2023 can only get better, right? Since we got this going on. Or if we break up, then the podcast is over.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah. So we can't break up now. Oh dear. Let's check in with the chat since I'm embarrassed about this announcement. And we've been talking about, of course, since it's the first recording of the new year, we're going to be talking about favorite memories, games, video, movies, things like that from the past year. So we asked folks what your favorite games and things were from 2023. Curse Blessing says your favorite game of the last year was 13 Sentinels, which that I believe came out before 2023.
2022.
Yeah, it came out the year. Oh my God, yeah. Of course it came out before 2023. Came out on Switch last year.
Yeah.
And then the year before that was PS4. I think. So you're very lucky you got to play the Switch version. I bought the PS4 version, still haven't played it, but then I feel too bad to buy it again, so I haven't rebought it. I need to play the PS4 version. It looks very good. Capsule J says favorite game of 2023 was Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Oh, that one looks really cute. I really want to play that as well. Kirby is always good. As you saw, my phone case from earlier has Kirby on it. Yeah, so that's our big announcement, as I said earlier. And I guess I could talk a little bit too about what I'm up to. I talked about in the last episode of the podcast that, of course, I split up with my husband and that we are going out. So those are two separate events. And as part of these changes in my life, I'm coming back to the U.S. permanently. So I'll be back at the end of January and living in the Portland area for a while, and then kind of seeing where things take me. But be back in the same time zone as you,
Yeah.
so we'll be able to record the podcast easier and hopefully see each other more, since that's a thing we want to do. Not that I didn't want to see you before, but now I want to see you more now. Yeah, Capsule J already. Oh, did I read that? It's 2023. I just read it. I'm like over 2022. Forget that year. It's gone. It's all 2023 now. Yeah, so Capsule J wrote in the chat his favorite game of 2023 was Kirby, but it should be 2022. Yeah. And I've already messed it up like twice in 5 minutes. So
that's fine.
I'm doing good.
Whatever.
Anyway, yes. The other big news is moving to the US, and that's it. I mean, what else is going on, right? Mm-hmm. Nothing. Just watching movies and playing games. So I think with that, we'll take a break. We're not actually going to take a break since we haven't been talking very long, but we'll put a little break music in here for the podcast feed and get ready for Media Minutes. Okay, so what do we want to talk about first? We've got lots of stuff. It's been 3 weeks where we've been hanging out, and of course when we hang out we watch movies. Why don't we talk about some 2022 stuff, which of looking here there are a couple. So we'll start with new things. First of all, we watch a movie that you wanted to see because someone told you that it was good.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And they said don't look anything up about this movie. It's called Barbarian. You know anything about it, like director or any of this stuff?
No,
I have no idea. We know nothing. There weren't any like famous actors in it, were there really? I didn't recognize anyone. But it was cool. So Barbarian, I guess, should we not spoil it then? If it's supposed to be secretive?
I don't know. You could say the premise.
Oh my god, the premise. The premise was actually very relevant for where we are right now. So the premise is this girl was like going to some city for an interview. Mm-hmm. She gets an Airbnb. When she gets to the like house or apartment or whatever, it's like a standalone house, isn't it? Like a small cottage type house. She arrives at it. There's already a guy in it. And the light is on, and she's like, oh, hey, I booked this place for tonight. What are you doing here? And he's like, oh, well, I booked this place for tonight. And they're like, oh, what do we do? And they try to get in contact with, like, the host. And the host is, not around. Mm-hmm. So the guy is like, oh, well, I wouldn't want you to be put out. Why don't you come on in? And we're both like, no, who would do that? No one in their right mind, especially a woman going into a place with a man. Like, that is just alarm bells everywhere. So that's how the movie starts. Yes. And then it goes off the rails from there. And I thought it was quite fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was very fun. We watched it together for the first time, which is not super common, I would say. I think a lot of the movies we watch, at least
one of us has seen it already, yeah.
Yeah, at least one of us has seen it. Usually you are introducing me to things. So to watch it and go through that, oh no, what is she doing? Those reactions together at the same time was really fun. Mm-hmm. And do we love Airbnb horror?
Well, we've seen like 3 movies between us about like Airbnb horror stories.
I don't you haven't seen that other one.
I didn't see the one you saw, no.
Yeah. Okay.
But you gotta explain why it's relevant to this event. Well, I can explain it, I guess.
Yeah, you explain.
Yeah. So we came here to this is an Airbnb right now where we're staying in, and it's kind of like a cottage at the back of a very large yard of somebody's house. We got here and it wasn't late or anything. It was probably 4 or 5 p.m.
But it gets very dark.
But it gets very dark, and it was already cloudy, so it was kind of night-ish vibes when we got here. And as we're walking down, we have to open a gate, and then we're walking down this long kind of dirt road path thing to it. And then as we approach, we see that there's a light on in the cottage.
We're like, oh no, it's Barbarian all over again. Oh, that was scary. It was fine.
Nobody was here.
They just left the light on for us to see the place,
yes.
I think.
Yes.
And it was fine. And we got in, and it had the same keypad on the door,
the movie,
like in the movie, and yeah. So, but we're okay. We've been here a couple days and we haven't died yet, which is great, which is good. We live to record another day. But yeah, I think Barbarian was quite fun. I would recommend it. There were a couple gory parts for me, and it was certainly tense, but I wouldn't say it was like super, super scary or horrifying. And really unsettling way. It was good. Yeah, good. Thumbs up. What else? Shiva Baby wasn't last year, was it?
What do you mean wasn't last year?
It didn't come out last year. I'm trying to go
No,
through
I think it
things
came out the year before.
Okay, so we can't talk about
so.
that yet. Sorry, folks. Is there anything else that came out last year? Oh, not movies, but Marcus finally watched Our Flag Means Death. So that would be the third time in a year that I've watched Our Flag Means Death. And I'm saying to Marcus that he needed to watch it. So I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, so I don't really need to rehash the whole premise of the show. But it's Silly Pirates, directed by Taika Waititi, or maybe produced by him. Anyway, he's involved, and he plays Blackbeard in it. And there's another guy who plays Stede Bonnet, the gentleman pirate, and their little queer escapades. Very fun show. And so, since you're watching it for the first time, what did you think?
Well, that was good. I thought it was funny. I didn't expect... Well, obviously, because I know from what you've told me already that it does actually, pay off in a sort of gay romance. I was... Normally, when I watch shows, I'm always like that anyway. I'm like, ooh, could be something. So every time there was little things I was noticing between them, I'm like, yeah, I can see this. But then there's just a lot of other stuff that's happening that's really silly.
Yes.
So it's a good mix of... Well, I feel like the first half is more silly, and then it gets a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
But there's still funny
true.
stuff
Yeah.
throughout. But I liked it, and I'm interested. I want to see a second season.
Good. And
I will watch it.
Good. Yeah, and they announced the second season, so that's exciting because it does end on a cliffhanger. Like, of course, you want them to be together and happy, and that's not really where things end, because that wouldn't make for an interesting continuing show, I guess. But yeah, that was a pleasant surprise for me, and certainly enjoyed it since I watched it 3 times. And speaking of other things from 2022 that you tried out because of me, I brought my PS5 here to the US because I thought, why not? I'm coming over eventually. I'll just slowly start bringing my things over again. And so the PS5 is hanging out at your place, and with it came Elden Ring.
Yeah.
So you got to play that. So tell the folks at home what you thought of Elden Ring. Oh, wait, first, let's talk about your experience with the Soul series in general.
Okay, so I played Demon Souls a little bit, and I've played Kingsfield. The PS2 one more than the original. I didn't really play much of the original at all, but I played some, and I liked it when I played those things, but it was really just kind of a very slow-paced series, and I'd say that continues with Elden Ring. It's just a very methodical. You need to be conscious of your moves and surroundings and everything, so it's like that's not how I want to play a game personally. I like more mindless gameplay.
Oh, okay.
So not my thing really, but it did look cool. And I really like the weird monster that I fought.
Yes.
It's like weird.
It's supposed to be
statue,
they call it dog.
cat.
What do they call it? The grave. Oh, I don't know. Capsule J, come on, you played Elden Ring. I think Curse Blessing did too. It's they look like cats, but they stand up and then they kind of float around and sit down again. And there are a couple of them. And they have flaming tails and things. I can't remember that. But I think they're actually meant to be dogs, but I think they look like cats. Anyway, you really did get a kick out of that one, but you didn't beat it, so...
No, I didn't. I could have. It wasn't that hard.
Well, it doesn't matter if you didn't actually beat it.
But... that was just funny. It's because it's such a weird enemy. It's like, what is this? What is it doing? It's just like weird. It's still.
Yeah, and
but
when it walks, it kind of like tiptoes around.
Yes.
It's this really funny
What
tiptoeing
the hell?
thing.
It's so weird.
That's what I like about Elden Ring, and I haven't really played the other games, but I've seen video footage of bosses and things. They always have these very weird, uncanny kind of designs and patterns to the way they behave, which is always fun. Like, you like to play something and have your expectations played with or surprised. Like, it doesn't move in a way that you would expect. So it's fun to see.
Yeah, I wish I could play it just to see those things, but not have to deal with the difficult gameplay.
Yeah.
Because I like weird shit, and that boss or whatever it was alone, that enemy was very weird, and I had a lot of fun with it. And also those weird little gremlin things that hang out on the wall
the imps.
and have little butts.
The imps, I love them. I love the first time you ran into one and it just totally murdered you.
Yeah.
That's the fun part of watching somebody play when you've done it yourself, right? And you know kind of what's happening. So you just watch them walk to their death. I was helpful though, right? I didn't.
You were helpful.
I didn't just let you
look.
flounder around.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, look up on the wall there. There might be something you want to keep an eye out for, you know. Yeah, well, as Capsule J in the chat knows, I've been having difficulties finishing Elden Ring. I don't know whether that will ever happen. I'm still in Caelid. I did boot up my save to show you a little bit. And I was like, I don't remember what I'm doing. I don't know how to play this game. I feel like everybody who went more magic based had a better time of things than me with my melee focus. I have like the blood, what is it, the blood scythe thing, you know, where you have that status effect. And I really like it and it looks cool, but when you're not good at dodging and you want to button mash like me, then magic would have been better because you can just stand far away and wail them with magic, and I'm not doing that. So maybe someday I'll beat it, but regardless, even though I haven't beaten it and I've still put 70 hours into it, I think it's one of my favorite games of the year, to be sure, just because it's unique. And as Marcus said, there's some interesting monsters, cool vibes, very intriguing in general, and hopefully I'll play more of it, but who knows. So we've got some new folks in the chat. Oh, M-Disc is here. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. You did miss the exciting news. I suppose I could crop this out of the podcast so I'm not repeating myself for the folks at home. But the big news is that we're together now. We're dating. So anyway, you know the statues we were talking about, and so does Capsule J, even though we can't remember their name. But yeah, they're fun. Okay, and continuing on, one more thing that I played from 2022 that I want to talk about. That's not the only thing I played. Like I played Tunic, that's from this year. Now I completely can't remember anything else, but also this game. I was a teenage exocolonist, which actually got a mention at the Game Awards, which we're going to talk about later, as like what was it? It was something like
games for social impact or something.
Yeah, change or impact, and I think it was partially because it has very, very good content warnings in it. Like at the starting screen, you can choose how much detail you want about the content warnings, and there's some that have spoilers and tell you everything, or you can just say no spoilers and it'll give you very general stuff. So I thought it was very thoughtful in that way. But so the game itself is like an adventure game, very text heavy, kind of visual novel-y, but you've also got stats in sort of a simulation game style where you've got this young character and you can choose what they do for the day, and there are days and weeks and seasons. So you go through the 4 seasons, and then the years pass and your character grows up. So you can kind of shape what they do with their life based on what you choose to have them do. But the premise is that you are a young person in the sort of near future, and humans are traveling around to planets to, I guess, find someplace else that's habitable, because the U.S. is in bad state, but the whole world is also in a bad state. So Earth is not hospitable to people anymore, I think, is the reason why they're, going out and about, and they land on this planet, and so you're kind of colonizing the planet and exploring. And I haven't gotten too far in the game, but I really wanted to shout it out because the art style is really gorgeous, and it has this really great in-depth options in terms of, as I mentioned, the content warnings, and also your character. You can have your character's appearance be kind of any level of masculine or feminine you want, and that's not tied to gender per se. So like gender and sexuality are separate things, and you can like date characters in the game. You can date anyone. You can also choose pronouns. So I really like how all of that is independent. And I still think more games need to do that. And there are a lot of cool characters, and it's very colorful and fun. So if you like that kind of thing, like simulation games that are more diverse, and I would recommend checking it out. I'm playing it on the Switch, of course, but it's also available on other things, I believe. So that, well, no, we got one more. Marcus, you played something from 2022 a little bit.
Yeah. Started playing the Atari 50th Anniversary Collection, which Anne bought for me for Christmas. So that was a very lovely gift. And it is what I thought it was beforehand until I started hearing people talk about it. Was I thought the 50th Anniversary Collection was just going to be where you get a compilation of games in a package.
Just like a dump,
yeah,
like a
menu.
Like,
here's the
list.
games.
Yeah.
Like any of the many Sonic collections or Sega collections, where it's basically here's games, you can play them.
Here's some games.
Which is fine. But in this case, is a lot bit more than that. I think you can just watch them if you want, but you don't have to. You can go ahead and watch kind of little documentary things on there, and that is how that makes it more interesting. And I like that because I'm a big fan of not modern Atari, but old Atari back in the day. I mean, one of my first video game consoles was an Atari 7800, so that's why it has kind of a special place in my heart. Those old games, as well as arcade games that Atari was making. But so that collection and seeing more about the history of Atari and from people talking about it is fun. I'm curious if there's any way to kind of watch them all in sequence like a video, or if you have to watch them in this little timeline view thing. But I guess it's fine. I'm liking it either way. I already know a lot of stuff so far that they've been sharing, but not everything. So it's fine. I look forward to continuing to go through that as it goes through the years, that goes through the decades of Atari. So
are they also doing modern Atari?
I think so, or it's like Atari today.
Okay. Wow. And then what are they going to say about that? We shall see.
I mean, there's nothing to say, but yeah. So it's a pretty interesting collection. I like it. I would like to see others from digital clips like that, where they have interviews or archival footage interspersed with the playable games. It'd be very fun. So that's what I'm looking forward to, resuming that and continuing to enjoy that.
Yeah, it looks very cool. I'm not really playing it. Well, we played a bit of Pong, because as you go through the timeline, it's like you're talking about the game, and then it will give you the game to play. Though it didn't give every game so far. You were disappointed they didn't have a couple of the early ones.
I'm not sure why, but they didn't have a couple playable.
Well, that's too bad. But it is a very neat format. I would love to see more games do that, like kind of like a documentary style retrospective, rather than I was thinking of what's our favorite, the one with Golden Axe that we keep trying to buy and play, that arcade collection. Is that Genesis? No, I don't know.
Sega collection.
Mega Drive collection, something like So, but every time I get that, it's just a dump of all the games, a list of games, and that's fine, but it's pretty bare bones. So if you're going to release a collection, that's a neat way to do it. Mega Drive collection, that's the one I was thinking of. So I'm glad you're enjoying that. That's, I think, it for 2022 new things that we can talk about. Just in general, I mean, we already touched on Elden Ring, which was a favorite of mine. Barbarian came out in 2022. That was quite good. I can't think of anything else that came out in the year that I was like, yeah, this is great. Because we intended to both play Slow Damage together, the new Nitro Plus Chiral BL game, which came out. Haven't gotten to that yet.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we can't say that was our favorite. We've been playing, what's that game we're playing together, Marcus? The hentai with the
Gore Screaming Show.
The hentai. The horror hentai. Gore Screaming Show. We haven't finished that either. We haven't even finished one route yet. It's so slow.
It is.
It's so slow. I'm like, where's the horror? Where's anything? There's nothing. It's just kids in high school so far. But I think we're finally getting close to something. And we also have been playing a bit of Hobbs Barrow. What is it? The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow?
Maybe that's what
which came out in 2022 as well. And that's like a point-and-click adventure game. Also, kind of folk horror, like Wicker Man type vibes, which is cool, but I haven't finished it. Got too much going on. Speaking of things going on, I wanted to mention briefly, so Marcus said that I got him Atari 50th Anniversary Collection. Well, he surprised me with a MetaQuest 2 for Christmas, because if you recall, some local youth brought over his for me to play a Beat Saber on a while back, and I thought, wow, this newfangled VR tech is great, and I love Beat Saber and waving my sabers around to the beats, so I was kind of talking it up, and you decided to get me one, which I really appreciate. It's been a lot of fun. So MetaQuest 2, formerly the Oculus Quest, is that what it's called?
Yes. Yes.
What's the Oculus Rift then? Is that
That's
different?
an older version of a headset.
Okay, so we don't do that anymore. So yeah, it's called the MetaQuest 2, and I guess it's like the lower end one or something, the more portable, more...
Than other headsets,
yeah,
yes.
but they have other headsets, right? And clearly know a lot about this. But I've been playing around with that, and it is so much fun. So, I mean, that didn't come out this year, I don't think,
No.
MetaQuest 2, but it's new to me, so I'm going to talk about it. I've got Beat Saber, which I'm really enjoying, and the game came with a download code for Resident Evil 4 VR, so I started playing that. Was that came out in 2022 or maybe 21?
No idea.
I know it came out pretty recently. I actually watched like a stream of someone playing that, but I've never played Resident Evil 4 before, so I wanted to check it out. I'm looking forward to that remake coming out soon, so I will probably still play that, but I had to try this in VR. And I have to say, as someone who's not played much VR but doesn't have a problem with Beat Saber, playing a first-person shooter is a whole different beast, because I did like the natural movement mode where you actually turn your head and walk around like, how would you say? Well, you're moving the analog stick like you would normally in a video game, right?
Yeah.
And then you just turn your head to do the direction. And that made me so queasy. I immediately had to switch it to the
comfort mode.
Yeah, comfort mode, where it's basically like it reminds me of like an RTS where you're like playing on the computer and you click a spot and all your little troops move to that spot. That's like what I was doing, is you point the analog stick at a spot and then kind of jumps you there. And that I don't like, because then it doesn't really feel very natural to play, and I also kept kind of running into the enemies and then they would bite me before I could shoot them because I got confused. But it does help with the nausea. I was fine in that mode. So I'm going to try to get used to playing in first person, because I think that would be really fun. Yes, VR Leon is the best part. And M-Disc, you get to look at Leon's hands, and they're your hands. It's amazing. So you look down and it's like, these are my hands, they're his hands. A lot of fun. And you can type on the typewriter. That's my favorite part. It's like you can type, you have to actually go do with your fingers to type a save file. There's a lot of really silly little details in it that are actually quite fun. Like you can have two different modes for the action. There's like a grip button, which is one of the triggers, and then the shoot button. But you can actually grip your gun, pull it off your like body. So I think the gun is on the right-hand side if you're right-handed, and you pull it off, and then you aim and shoot. same thing with the knife is on the other side of the body. And the first aid spray is so funny because it's like over your shoulder, and so you can whip it out of your shoulder, and then you actually aim it at yourself and push the spray button and like spray it all over your face. It's so stupid, but I love it. It's so good. So I haven't played a ton of that, but I am liking it, and I would like to try to play more if I can hopefully get used to just doing first person VR. I assume if you play it a fair bit, you just kind of get over it, or maybe some people never do. I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I haven't gotten over it.
Oh, well, you don't play that much VR.
Not anymore. I tried.
Oh no.
With the Oculus Rift.
Oh no. Maybe I'll never get over it.
Yeah. I mean, there's technically another mode which wasn't in that game, but they have other modes for moving in VR.
Mm-hmm.
One which is like the kind of free movement, but that the screen kind of blacks out around you to like a little circle. So you can only kind of see this much of the screen, and seemingly that helps.
That makes sense, yeah.
Because while you're moving it, kind of, you only see a little pinpoint. And then when you stop moving it, expands again to show you everything.
Oh.
So that's another method that people use to be less bad, but it doesn't seem like that was in Resident Evil.
No, I didn't see that. Because I would like some kind of happy medium between the two, because I do like the fluidness of just the free movement, but it was too much for me. So we'll see if I can get used to it or not. But I'll definitely play more of that. And I haven't played anything else in VR yet, but I did pick up Moss on sale, which is a really cute game with a mouse in it. I think Moss 2, not Mouse. Moss 2 came out this year. Not this year, no. Last year, 2022. And it got really good reviews, but I'm going to start with the first one. And I got Tetris
Connected.
Yeah. You know better than me what I got. Yes, Tetris Effect Connected. I'm looking forward to trying that too. And yeah, now I'm a VR girl. So if you have any VR recommendations, feel free to let me know. I'm always up for trying more stuff. Next up, Marcus. What? Take it away with something that we've watched together.
Anything?
Anything. Your pick.
We watched Jack Frost.
Oh my god. That's what you go to. Okay. Yeah, we wanted to watch some holiday movies. So Jack Frost was it for some reason. Why did we watch that? It is Christmassy. I remember when I was a kid and I would go to the movie store and I'd see the VHS tape of the scary, snowman with the teeth. Yeah. And it would make me really scared.
Yeah, wasn't it like kind of...
Yeah.
So it's like
3D,
the picture
holographic or whatever.
Yeah, his face, and then it's like the teeth version.
Yeah, if you move it a little bit, his teeth will pop out. Which I thought I would see a version that looked like that in the movie, but you don't really. I mean, he gets teeth, but it doesn't look how it looks on the cover at all.
No.
But Jack Frost is a killer snowman. He's got the soul of a serial murderer in his body, right? Because of some weird chemical incident where he dies and then fuses with snow molecules. And it's a killer snowman. And it was bad, but bad in a really fun way. Especially for the holidays. I think we watched it on Christmas Day. It was very silly. Some really bad music in it, I seem to remember. There were weren't there songs that were
it was
made
Christmas music,
but made evil sounding or something. Evil Christmas music. Any other things we should say about that movie before moving on?
It's just funny.
It's funny. Oh no, it was relevant because it's in a cold town named Snowminton, right? Snowminton, where they love snowmen. And there was this one scene where two high school kids are hooking up, and they go inside and they're taking off all of their layers from being outside. So they got to take off the jacket and take off the sweater and take off the scarf and then the long underwear and the 3 pairs of socks. And so we're kind of always joking about that now when we're here in Portland, because Marcus never has need to wear a coat or hat in his life. So he says, "Oh, I feel like the kids in that movie now." But it's not even that many layers. No. But you have an idea now.
A little bit.
Relate to the snowman movie. So that was fine. I think it's fun if you want to watch a really bad horror comedy thing.
Yeah.
You can do worse. Yeah, the DVD cover is the scariest thing about that movie. I think that's true, Capsule J. I would say so. But another movie that's like bad but good bad was Tammy and the T-Rex, which
Yeah.
Marcus, you watched many, many times last year.
Yeah.
Maybe as many, if not more, than I watched Our Fight Means Death.
Probably, yeah. I probably watched it like 3 times.
Yeah, and you said I should watch it, and so we finally did together. And I thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. It was great. I think that was better than Jack Frost. There were some really good lines. I really liked the evil scientist guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was really funny. And it was just so dumb. And it's oddly relevant that we're talking about this right now because the movie is featured in full length in
High on Life.
yeah, High on Life, that new game that came out. So they apparently had some deal with Vinegar Syndrome that released that movie, as well as they have like licenses for a couple other Vinegar Syndrome movies, and you can actually watch the whole movie in the game, which is fun. I mean, not that I don't know that anyone would really want to, but you could. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
That would
If
mean
you've
you
never
have to
seen
get
it
that
before.
game, but yeah, I guess if you haven't seen the movie before. And there's a really fun scene at the beginning with the fight. So
Mhm.
even if you just watch a couple minutes of it, you get to see the high school boy fight scene where they grab each other by the balls, and it's really stupid. Yeah. The whole movie is very stupid, but a fun stupid.
Yes.
An enjoyable stupid. What else? Your turn. Pick another movie that we've watched. I don't know.
We watched Tootsie.
Yeah, Tootsie was another one that you like,
Yes.
and you wanted me to see it.
Yes.
Well, a lot of these are ones you like and wanted me to see.
Yes. That's true.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll make him watch some more movies. We did actually watch a movie that I wanted
Yes.
and we didn't put on the list, The Holiday, classic rom-com.
Mm-hmm.
And you enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yes, I see there. But we're not really going to talk about it because it's a bit boring, but it's cute. Anyway, Tootsie stars, is it Dustin Hoffman?
Yes.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman is a comedian. No, not a comedian. An actor who can't get work, and so he decides to dress as a woman for auditions, right? And he's able to get a spot on a show, like a soap opera,
Yep.
a really bad hospital drama soap opera thing as a woman. And so all of the shenanigans that result from that, and we love a good cross-dressing storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was very fun. I quite enjoyed it. Some good outfits, from that period. And I thought, slight spoilers from this. Was it a 90s movie or even
It is not
earlier?
90s.
80s? Must be 80s.
I suppose so.
Yeah, all spoilers for this very old movie. There's, of course, a love interest, and it's, there's a girl, and, sort of those complicated feelings that arise from her interest in Dustin Hoffman's character while cross-dressing because she did not feel that she was, bi or lesbian, I guess. But when it's revealed that Dustin Hoffman is not a woman, and he goes back to presenting as a man all the time, they have, of course, like a falling out and sort of difficulties around that. But Dustin Hoffman likes her and clearly wants to pursue a relationship with her. But at the end of the movie, it's like, let's kind of resume our friendship and see where things go, which I appreciated because a lot of these movies would like end with them getting together and the big kiss scene and, oh, everything's fine. But this was like acknowledging that because they were good friends when they were both women. And the girl felt like betrayed that Dustin Hoffman was not really a woman. And, like, how am I going to trust you again type thing. And so they didn't gloss over the fact that reconciliation would take time and may or may not happen, right? I really liked that. So the ending was, positive but ambiguous. Like, they're going to start over again or kind of try to repair their relationship, and it may or may not get romantic, and who knows. So that was cool.
Yeah. I liked the fact when, it was not revealed, when it was still, Dustin Hoffman as a woman, to everyone's, knowledge anyway, that because they do kiss or try to kiss or something, and the girl is kind of like, I love you, but just not like that. But it's, she doesn't run away in disgust or something. It's kind of like openness and understanding of lesbianism, bisexuality, and and that also kind of seems like maybe she would have been interested, and she just didn't know how to. She wasn't ready yet, kind of thing, almost.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because she sort of had like this. She was scared, but also wanted to be close, and like didn't really fully understand her feelings. But then, that maybe if Dustin Hoffman really was a woman, then they would have sort of taken things slow and seen where they went in that way too. Yeah, so that was nice. Pretty open for the time, Yeah. So that one was cute. I like that. Oh dear, we still got more to go through. So many things. This is what happens when you don't record for a while. Also when you hang out in person, because we tend to do more stuff when we're hanging out. But that's okay. We might skip over a couple of things.
That's fine.
But I mentioned Shiva Baby already, so I'll just briefly talk about it because I thought that was quite fun. So you wanted me to watch this one. Marcus recommended we watch it as a good comedy. It's good, but it's one of those comedies that makes you really uncomfortable because you get that secondhand embarrassment and you like cringe and oh no, I can't believe this is happening. But it's about a Jewish woman who's like, is she just graduated from high school or she's in college?
She's in college.
Okay, but there's like a lot of mixed information about what she's up to because she's basically lying to a lot of people because she doesn't really know what she's doing and she feels like ashamed that she's not going to a really good school, I think. And so she had a relationship with a girl in high school, it sounds like, but then now she's working as a sugar baby, right? So she's got like this sugaring app where she hooks up with guys and gets money from them. But her whole thing with at least one of the guys, we only ever see one of them. With this guy, she's like talking about how she's in law school?
Yeah,
is that what she tells him? She tells him she's in law school, and he's like, well, I'm a feminist and I love supporting women. So he like gives her more money because he wants to support her law school, which is really fun. But the whole twist is that she's called by her mom to attend a funeral, and it's like very, very Jewish, and the whole local Jewish community is there. And that guy is there. So the guy that she was hooking up with and getting money from is there with his wife and new baby. And so she's like, oh my God, and then all the like awkwardness of like them seeing each other and being introduced and knowing each other. And then he finds out that she's not really going to law school. And she's like, what, like this is never said openly ever. But she's thinking like, well, you didn't tell me you were married and had a kid. And he's thinking, well, you didn't tell me you weren't in law school. And so it's just like everybody being kind of shitty, but funny. And the whole movie is pretty much just taking place in that, that like funeral reception scene in somebody's house. So I thought that was really fun. Like, I really like a good, what's the word I'm thinking of? A very tight, like small scale narrative, maybe, where it's not like this big story where you travel all over or, see characters' lives over many days. It's like this is one day in one place, and yet you learn so much about the people in the film and the relationships, like the girl's relationship with her mom and her dad, and she runs into her high school fling, the girl that she went out with that apparently is much more like successful and everybody's proud of her. And so it seems like the main character was kind of like stealing her information and presenting it as if it was her. So she's the one that's going to law school and doing all these great things while the main character is kind of floundering around. And it maybe ends in an ambiguous way where, unlike Tootsie, I felt like it was maybe a little unsatisfying. Like, I think it fit with the film, but it's very much it ends and nothing gets resolved, and you're just kind of like, okay, well, good luck, everyone, you know. But a lot of secondhand embarrassment watching that film. I thought it was really good. So definitely recommend that. And that's a recent movie, just not 2022.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe from 2021.
Yeah.
I can't recall, but
Oh,
yeah.
So recent-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good. Do we want to talk about anything else before we move into the news? We're fine. Okay, I'm fine too. All right, so for folks listening to the podcast feed, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with notable news. For those of you who are here in the live feed, are we going to just continue, Marcus?
I mean, what else can we do? We can't.
Oh, yeah,
we'll have
we
to
don't.
stop the stream
Oh,
entirely.
no, yeah, we don't have.
Yeah.
We don't have our technology. We can't do the BRB screen, so let's just go right into it. We don't have a ton of news because, you know, holiday season and all that.
Yeah.
And honestly, we haven't been keeping up on the news that well, but I did kind of do a little crawl before the recording and I didn't see a whole lot. So basically, Game Awards happened. We watched that, part of that live.
Some of it, yeah.
It was what I thought it was going to be, which is Elden Ring winning a lot of things and a lot of announcements and cheesy stuff that kind of were cringy to watch. Like that, who was it they brought on at the end? That actor?
Well, I'm guessing it was Al Pacino, but I don't remember anymore. I think it was
Al Pacino, but he didn't know why he was there, basically. It was just really awkward. That one we watched after the fact because we didn't stick around for the whole thing, but I heard rumblings of, oh, they got some famous actor and nobody knows why he was there and he didn't even know why he was there. And then we watched it on YouTube and sure enough, he's like, I don't even play video games, but I love watching my kids play them. It's like, oh my God, what year is it? But in terms of news or like cool things that happened, there were a few, a handful, if you will. Marcus, did you have anything you want to mention from the Game Awards?
No.
No.
Because I don't remember anything.
Okay, well.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's fine. I'll continue to talk about the things that I remember, which one is Hades 2 was announced, and I'm very excited about that. I made Marcus watch the trailer because we didn't catch that one live. I think it was right at the beginning, maybe? Yeah. Anyway, we didn't get that in the stream, but I saw the announcement and was so excited because I loved the first Hades, and yeah, it looks very good. It looks like more Hades, so that's exciting. And the Bayonetta Origins Sarasa and the Lost Demon game looks so cool, and I was very surprised to see another Bayonetta thing announced so soon, but I hear that it was like teased within Bayonetta 3 somehow, which is neat. But apparently there's some unlockable within the game, like you can buy from the store, and maybe it's a demo for it, or I don't know, don't quote me on that, but I did read that it was sort of teased within the game, and that's coming out in March, so very soon. And it has a gorgeous art style, so I will definitely check that out when it comes out.
Is that a sequel or a like side story or a prequel?
It's a prequel. It's Bayonetta's origins, Marcus.
Okay.
It's when I guess before she gets her magic powers, and she's like a little girl looking for her mother in the woods, and it's like her learning to harness, you know, all the monster powers that she gets with her hair, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
She could play it at any time, basically. Okay.
Yeah. Well, are you worried about playing Bayonetta 3?
Yeah, because I haven't played Bayonetta 3 yet.
I haven't
I
either.
only played 1 and 2.
I haven't even finished 2.
Why not?
I don't know. I need to. I like the games, but I kind of heard mixed things on 3, so I haven't been like jumping to play it, but I do want to play it sometime.
Yeah.
We should play it.
We should.
Other news, you know, not really. From Game Awards, I don't know. Did anyone in chat have anything from Game Awards that you were really excited about? That's about it for me. I think the only other big thing that I remember was Death Stranding 2 getting announced, which we know was coming, I think, anyway. If it doesn't have Mads Mikkelsen, I don't even care, so. Oh, Armored Core 6, and hello, Neil Akuma, thanks for stopping by. Yes, Armored Core 6 was announced, or was there just more information? Because I thought I heard things about Armored Core. Maybe it was, like the HD remake or port of some old game.
Mm-hmm.
Folks in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm sure I am. Yes, Kirby did win an award. I think that was that not the only Nintendo game to win a major award. Like I thought Splatoon 3 might win FPS. Maybe it did.
I thought it was. I thought Splatoon did win something.
Maybe it did. I know for a while there we were like, oh, Nintendo's not going to win anything. And then something finally popped up.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Kirby definitely worthy of awards. Splatoon 3, I'm now remembering, is another game I played last year. I totally forgot about it. I definitely did not play enough of that game. I have to go back to it. And Capsule J calling me out in chat about my stellar track record of finishing games. Yeah, well, hey, you know, Marcus doesn't talk about it, but he also doesn't have a great track record for finishing games.
No, I beat, like, if I'm playing a game these days, usually I beat it, but that's because I barely play anything.
Okay.
So,
I guess that works.
And
then.
I'm playing visual novel, very easy to beat a visual novel.
True,
usually.
true. Okay.
Just a lot of reading.
Okay, we can't get him on this one. We'll get him on something else. Best multiplayer was Splatoon. Okay, so it did win something. That's good. We got M-Disc also saying Armored Core 6 was an exciting announcement. Of course, Hades 2 exciting. Capsule J saying yes, his expectations for you are low.
That's fine.
So, why do you have such high expectations for me? I never finished anything. There should be no expectations. Okay, well, yeah, that's it for the Game Awards. And then the only other news that I thought to bring up today was Monster Hunter related, because of course I have to. So we got Monster Hunter Rise is coming out on Xbox Game Pass, and it's also coming to PS4 and PS5 in January. So look at that. Everybody has to play Monster Hunter now. Everybody who has not played it is required by law to play it now. I think I feel like this is a bit unfortunate because, at least for me, like, I've pretty much gone through everything I wanted to do in Event Sunbreak. So I'm, like, done with it. And, you know, so if someone went and got it in January, like folks like me who have been playing since Rise came out, since Sunbreak came out, and kind of keep up with the release of all the updates, are, like, kind of over it. So it's a shame that, you know, they couldn't release it closer to the Switch version, so you would have people going through the game around the same time, or even the PC version that came out ages ago too. So I mean, it's good for the people who have not played it, but you will not be able to play with me, unfortunately, because I'm done with Rise. Well, not completely, but pretty done. I don't play for hundreds and hundreds of hours like some folks do. I beat the monsters 1 or 2 times, and then I'm like, okay, that was good. Or maybe I'll have one armor set I want to do, and then that's it. So, good for everyone who wants to play it on a different system. So, I think with that, we've come to the end of our New Year's Extravaganza 2023 episode 103 of Pixel podcast. Thank you all for tuning in live and for listening to the podcast after the fact, if that's what you're doing. And we hope you all have a very lovely year ahead, and thank you for listening. I guess we'll close it out there, Marcus, huh?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Any other closing words from you?
It's cold.
It's cold. We're gonna go warm up now. Thanks for listening, everyone. Goodbye for now. Oh my god.